Meet Dorito, a one-eyed, snack-named, chronically charming ginger cat who turned a rough start into the most wholesome story on the internet. And say hi to his brother Herbie. Yes, Herbie also has only one eye. Dorito's story begins on a small farm in New Brunswick, Canada, where he simply appeared one day and decided to stay. For a couple of months, he lived there as a stray, and while the farm owners noticed something was off with his eye, they assumed he had simply always been that way. Winter was coming, and not wanting to leave him out in the cold, they reached out for help. It was kitten season, and most rescues were full. Options were running out when they decided to call Michelle to help. She picked Dorito up that same day. He arrived in a plastic container with holes in it, so she had no idea what to expect. When she opened it at the vet, and his little ginger face, so sweet and friendly, looked up at her, that was it. It was true love at first sight. But the vet visit brought some hard news. Dorito had an ear infection, and his eye had a severe corneal ulcer that had been left untreated for so long, at least a year by the vet's estimate. That eye could not be saved. It had to be removed. But even in the days right after surgery, Dorito was already showing the world exactly who he was, a happy, purring boy who was playing again just hours after the procedure. Dorito went home with Michelle in October 2017, and he has never looked back. Now about that funny name. Finding a name for this guy turned out to be less complicated than expected. Michelle and a friend were sitting together, sharing a bag of Doritos, when she glanced at the bag and thought, that's it. Simple, snacky, and somehow absolutely perfect for this food-motivated chonk with big personality energy. Yes, it might be a bit inappropriate for a king, but that's just the first impression. King Dorito actually sounds perfectly fine. At home, Dorito quickly settled into a life that suited him very well. Endless cuddles, warm beds, all the food he could charm his way into, and a family who adored him. He turned out to have an impressive set of skills, too. Hunting black flies around the house is one of his specialties. In his beloved catio, catching June bugs became such a passionate hobby that his humans actually had to monitor his intake so he wouldn't overindulge. Birdwatching, sunbathing, chasing laser toys, sprinting through tunnels. Dorito approaches all of it with full commitment and zero apologies. He's also, by his own account, a natural-born model. Seriously, this guy was born to pose for the camera. But perhaps the best thing waiting for Dorito in his new home was someone he was about to recognize as his own kind, because Michelle already had another one-eyed cat. Herbie is like Dorito, a rescue cat who found love in Michelle's family. Once malnourished and helpless, he is now a happy cat living his best life. When Dorito arrived, the two of them took one look at each other. Well, one look each, and something just clicked. One-eyed brothers completing each other. These days, Herbie and Dorito are rarely far apart. They wrestle constantly, though Dorito will openly admit he has never once won. They chase the sun around the house together, share favorite spots, and keep each other company through every season. Two cats, two eyes between them, and twice the charm. Together they see it all. And together, they also had a big brother. They both still learn to live without sweet Ziggy. Ziggy was a three-legged cat, and he was the first. He watched his humans grow up, and through all of it, he ran the house with the quiet authority of someone who had simply decided he was in charge. Closed doors were not permitted under his watch. Privacy was a concept he did not recognize. Bedtime happened on his schedule. and everyone, including the pizza delivery guy, knew his name. He was full of love, and his feline brothers adored him. In January, Ziggy became suddenly and seriously ill. The decline came fast, and what he was facing wasn't curable. His family made the hardest decision: to let him go while he was still comfortable and pain-free. He was tired, and loving him meant letting him go. After Ziggy was gone, Dorito and Herbie wandered the house, stopping at his favorite spots, searching in that quiet way cats do when someone is simply no longer there. Their humans spoiled them with new toys and extra attention, and the two brothers held each other a little closer. They're doing better every day, though Ziggy's spots are still saved just in case. Life in this household is still full of catio adventures, full of sunbeams to chase and treats to aggressively pursue. Dorito and Herbie remain committed to being one-eyed bandits on a mission, and they take that mission very seriously. 8 years ago, Dorito was a stray with an untreated injury, running out of options as winter closed in, and his future didn't look bright at that moment. He seems to understand, in whatever way cats understand things, that his life could have gone very differently. But thanks to the people who understand that every cat deserves a chance, he found a warm home, a devoted family, a brother who matched him perfectly, and an Instagram following that would argue he was born for the spotlight. He has no limitations. He never did. He just needed someone to open the container and let him out. Being different, as Dorito and his brothers have demonstrated repeatedly, isn't a bad thing. It means you're brave enough to be yourself. And King Dorito has never been anything else.